Well, Nick, obviously this is a big opportunity for you. Now that you weighed in, the fight's just a day away. What's the emotion like for you right now?
It's, for me, I mean, I don't make a big deal out of anything, so I think that's one of the things that's allowed me to be able to compete and win so often is I don't let anything get to my head. I don't make too big a deal out of everything, but obviously the stakes for this are pretty high, and it's a fight that could change my life. And I realized that, and I realized that in preparation for this fight, and I did everything I could. This is my 16th pro fight, and I learn every single time I fight, and the older I get, the wiser I get, and the better I get at preparing for it. So definitely I'm from Connecticut. There's not a lot of guys coming from Connecticut. There's a few that you start to hear about, but and there's a few that you're going to hear about. But where I'm from, it's like kind of a big deal. So I took like more the boxing route for this camp, like I always do, and I prefer is a smaller camp with more attention around me. My team, Fighting Arts Academy, did an amazing job. I couldn't be happier for what they did and getting me prepared, and I feel like I'm ready to take on anyone.
So you say you don't make a big deal out of things, but to a lot of people this is a big deal, right? I mean, this is history in some ways. I mean, do you get and appreciate why people make a big deal out of your fighting and your opportunity?
Well, the thing is, obviously you can see I only have one hand, and people can kind of relate to me. I think that I'm just like a normal guy. I'm not mean mugging people. I'm not acting tough. I'm just a guy that loves what he does and works hard, and I wear my differences on my sleeve. But the thing is, everyone's different, so everyone has a struggle that they're facing. Some you can see, some you can't see, but you can see mine. So people relate to me, and I feel like that's why people like me, and I get so much support.
What are the stakes for you in this fight? Because I mean, if you win, you get in, or potentially get in. You could be a UFC contract, but I mean, if you don't get the UFC contract, are you still committed to fighting? I know for a while you kind of walked away. I mean, is this one of those things where like everything's on the line, or is this just a fight?
I try not to think too much about that. I just think about winning. When I win, it's usually pretty impressive. I have a lot of finishes. I have 11 finishes and 14 wins, all in the first round. So, I mean, I don't bank on that, but I definitely have so many ways to win. So all it takes is one mistake, and if I win and they don't give me a contract, or I don't know, I think the internet's gonna flip out. I think I got a lot of people that support me. So I'm just here to win. I'm not worried about anything else. I've been judged my whole life and people's opinions, and I'm just here to perform and just do what I do, and that's fight and win.
So, because it's been interesting this year as we've watched the contracts get handed out. It seems like quick wins get favored. There have been a couple that have been later in the fight that got contracts anyway. But I mean, do you strategize at all, or I mean, are you tailor making anything to this fight because of where it is?
No, I'm gonna just kick his ass, man. That's it. That's all I'm coming here to do is to get my hand raised and win the smartest way possible, and obviously, the quicker I can get it done, the better. But I'm not going to go out there and make mistakes because I want to impress or fight not to my best of my ability to just win quick. I have to win, and that's my #1 goal. And obviously we've prepared, and we have a game plan ready for if he comes out the gate and he tries to win quick and all scenarios. It's not necessarily a game plan more than just built-in muscle memory and instincts. And I feel really good, after this, man. I really think I'm going to have a lot of people talking about me.
Well, last thing for me, I mean, you've had big fights, been on network television, but it's been a little while. I mean, for a lot of people, this might be the first time they've ever seen you fight. So if people haven't seen you fight before, what do you tell them? What can they expect to see from you?
I don't know. You see what you see. I'm a college wrestler, a good college wrestler, and I graduated college like 10 years ago, so I've only gotten better since then. And I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I have knockout power. I've knocked people out. And lots of ways to win, lots of ways to get it done, comfortable everywhere. One on top, one off my back, one with strikes, standing, one with strikes on the ground. So there's really nothing I feel I can't do, and there's really no way I feel like I can't win. So I've won so many different ways, and you're in danger wherever you are when you fight me, and I feel like my fights are always exciting, and you know, water cooler talk, you know, with the finishes. So hopefully I can replicate and add another one to that.
I lied. I'm going to ask you one more. Do you want to serve as an inspiration? I mean, I think you are an inspiration to a lot of people. Does that matter to you? Do you want that to be part of your character, or do you want people to just say, this dude's just a UFC fighter and that's the only way I want to see him?
That's something like that. Being an inspiration or not being an inspiration, or if people look up to you, that's not something you can force. That's not something you can want. You can't be like, hey, I'm going to go inspire some people. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you just have to be yourself, and you just have to do what you do. And if people choose to be inspired by what you're doing, or look at you as a role model, then like that's the way it is. If I came out here and I was like, oh, I'm gonna prove this and prove that, you know, that's corny to me. I'm just a regular guy that's following his dream, and I happen to be a little bit different, but I never let it stop me from doing the things I want to do. And if people are inspired by that, then yeah, you know, I mean, I don't think that my hand is what makes me different. I think my heart is what makes me different. And when I go out there, I show it every time, and I'm going to show it tomorrow night.